Hello, it's Kim again. I just wanted to show you my small C craft shelf, I guess you would call it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because some of this is messier than others. Mostly the bottom shelf is just a disaster. So, I'm going to start up here. Got my scrapbook glue. I don't know the scrapbook, but I have it. This is a picture that my grandmother gave me, like way back in the Civil War era, some of my family. So I thought it was cool, and she gave me that. It's my oldest daughter when she was a baby. She's 10 now. Can you believe that? I have a picture up here. Here, I'll bring it down. This is her now. She's 10. Plays softball and basketball, and I think she does some gymnastics and dance. And crazy little girl. I have one knitting book up here, a little bit about herbal medicine. I'll go more into that later. I don't feel like going into that now. I have a few reference manuals from school. I'm in college right now. Get my bachelor's of healthcare management. Again, more of that later. These notebooks, I know it looks crazy, but those, they're all binders, see? And some of this paper's at the top too, I told you it's a mess, are all sewing and knitting patterns. I'm crazy. And yes, they are stuffed full. I can't fit any more into there. And here are a few more knitting books that I got. And these are my beading supplies. I've used a little bit in my spiritual path for like talismans and stuff like that, but I mostly do just personal jewelry items for myself and make them for gifts for people for Christmas and stuff. These are my, here, I'll open it and show you. Woo! I need to be careful. These are my double pointed needles, so they look the same on both ends, so that's it. Although I don't crochet per se, I do have, this one is full of crochet needles because sometimes you do need them in knitting. I've been knitting since I was 8 years old. My grandmother taught me. These are my magazines that I really need to go through badly. And I'm showing you the mess because over here are my short knitting needles. I use these the most just because they're easier to handle. Oh, there's an ink pen in there. Yeah, they're easier to handle, and I can usually get work done faster that way. But here, woo, up there I have my long knitting needles, and I don't use them as often, but every once in a while you come across a project where you just cannot fit the stitches on the smaller needles, and I have to use the larger ones. So here's some more patterns. I don't think these are as full. So, and my yarn, I don't know if you can see. I have 2 big blue baskets here that I got at the Dollar Tree that I have filled with yarn, and I have this tub over here that is also full of yarn. And I think I have more yarn other places in the house. My boyfriend and I were talking about getting a place together, and I said, where am I going to put my yarn? And he said, I guess you're just going to have to use it. I have some issues with pain right now, and if I knit too much, my hands end up hurting, and so I put it off for a little while, which I need to pick it back up again because I'm working on some mittens for my granny. You'll learn as time goes on that I absolutely adore my here. I absolutely adore my dad's mother and father. They have been there for me my entire life for anything I've ever needed them for. their phone number I've had memorized since I was about 4. And they've never changed it. They've had cell phones over the years, but they still have their house phone and the same phone number. And I know that if I ever had need of them, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, and they will be there for me. They've always totally been there for me. So every Christmas I get them something or make them something. And this year, my granny had mentioned something when she saw some mittens that I made that she wanted a pair. So I made one. I totally messed up the thumb on it because I followed the kids pattern for the adult thumb, so I scrapped that one, and then I made another mitten, perfect, and then I started the last one for the pair, and I just kind of petered out on it, and I've got to finish that because, as you know, it's after Christmas now, and I want to get that done so I can give it to her. I adore her. She taught me to knit when I was 8. I mentioned earlier. That's my granny that did that. They're just great people. My grandpa is starting to get a little bit of dementia, but not enough that you'd really notice at this point in time. I think he's on medicine to slow it down. But that does make me sad because I'm really going to miss him. He's bailed me out of some doozies. And I'm not a wild person. Don't take, you know, that the wrong way. I've never been a wild person. I've always been a goody two-shoes and everything. But I had some issues with a past relationship that I was in, where the guy would just really, he was not a good guy, and he was basically someone that was too old for me, that was taking advantage of me and my innocent thought that because he was older he would be more stable, and he wasn't at all. And he and I lived about an hour south of my grandparents, and it didn't matter. They'd come to my rescue. I was sick as a dog one day. I was so sick, and I couldn't even get myself to the emergency room, and they drove an hour to come and get me and take me to the emergency room. My grandpa did that, and my grandma sat by my side the whole time, and I adore them. I haven't always been able to sit there and talk to them about everything, but they've just been wonderful, wonderful people to me, and I couldn't say that enough. I'm very pleased to have them for grandparents. On my mom's side of the family, it's a little bit of a different story, because there's a lot of history of disowning and stuff like that on that side of the family, and they didn't really approve of my dad because he wasn't from as affluent of a family as they were. But I grew up next door to my grandparents, and on my dad's side of the family, and they would be there for anything for me, and I just wanted to say that because of the working on the mittens. My granny teaches me to knit when I was 8. My grandpa's fixed my car so many times. Not the one I have now, but one of the other ones I had when nobody else would fix it for me. He's been awesome. He sits there and talks to me about anything, and he's a really great guy. Some people in my family don't think so, but I really think that he is a decent guy. Kind of silly a little bit, but yeah, he's great. So now I'm going to bed, and I'm wearing the same thing because a few minutes ago I just did a video about what my channel was all about, and then I was like, came in here and I was like, I want to show my craft shelf, and I told her I didn't show you the bottom shelf because it's an absolute terrible mess, and I needed to clean it up, but I don't feel like it right now. So blessed be.